Do you get confused as to which team you should join to meet your career goals and aspiration within a traditional IT service based or a consulting company? Well, in this video, we'll talk about 5 key teams or key pillars under which you could join and you could excel based on your skill set, your expertise, and your aspirations. So if you get anything out of this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get started. So the very first team and one of the very important team in any IT company is sales and marketing, because sales and marketing team works together to get the deals into the company, to get the revenue, to get new deals, to venture into new business domains, business opportunities. The sales and the marketing are completely two different verticals, but I have tried keeping it in one and try to give you some insights. So while sales is actually trying to sell a service or a product or or an offering, marketing is more about collaborating, more about popularizing what you offer on the table through social media, through marketing campaigns, and there are roles which you could go for within this vertical. So now in this vertical, one of the very important roles for technical people are into pre-sales and consulting. So within pre-sales and consulting, there would be a technical team who would be a part of this overall sales life cycle, and they would be understanding what kind of business problems are there, and then they would understand and define a solution which could be sellable to get the contract. So this whole sales cycle, this whole consulting team and this pre-sales team, it could be of business analysts, architects, engineers who would come together to form a proposal. Similarly, for marketing, it's more about marketing your product, your offering, your service offering through LinkedIn, through social media. You could be your product marketing manager, for example. So under sales and marketing, your BRMs, your BDMs, your sales directors would be forming a core team, the leadership team, and underneath this particular leadership team, there would be a horizontal technology team as well. Suppose you are working on a proposal for a cloud solution, then there would be a vertical or a horizontal specialist team for Azure, for AWS, for Google Cloud, but those would be primarily working with the sales team. So if you are someone who likes to come up with new ideas, who likes to work very aggressively, because these teams are always continuously under pressure to get new business, to convert those those RFIs and RFPs into actual contracts. So there's a lot of hustling being done here, but then you get a lot of flavor, got lot of visibility, and a chance of promotion is a lot if you work in here, because you are actually getting money for a company. So sales and marketing, if you like this field, if you are if you are good in selling things, if you are good in pitching the ideas, if you are good in taking the pressure, coming up with new ideas and working on multiple things at one time, you are very good in your communication, I think sales and marketing could give you those leaps and bounds of promotions if you if you hit your targets. So let's understand about our second team. Once you sell an idea, someone has to work on that idea and make it into a reality. And that's where the delivery team comes into picture. So whatever idea has been sold has to be made a reality by delivery team, and that's why many times delivery teams are not very happy with the sales team, because they might have pitched some idea which they think is too difficult to achieve. So there's always that tussle going on between these two teams, as per my experience. So under this delivery vertical, you would have your delivery head, or for example your portfolio manager, your program manager, and under that particular leadership you will have your project managers, your scrum masters, your dev team, your DevOps team, for example, who would be working on the actual delivery of the project. So your sales team in any company would be, I'm just giving a random thing, but it would be only the 10% of your overall strength. Okay, because it's often said that any company is made of 3 different species. One is the finder, second is the grinder, and third is the minder. So the finder is your sales team. Your grinders are all the teams which works behind the scene, delivery team and some other teams which I'll talk about. And your minders are your executives, your CXOs, your CEOs, your CIOs, CTOs, who envision and who think, who put their minds into how the company should run. So always remember this: minders, grinders and finders. These three kind of people you would find in any company. But coming back to the topic, yes, the delivery team, most of the 70%, 60% workforce would work under the delivery team, because actually this is where you deliver value, and this is where a lot of pain is also there, but a lot of learning and a lot of opportunity. So delivery team is very broad. Anything you think about technology would fall under a delivery team vertical, but the idea behind this vertical is to make things in reality. So if you are someone who really wants to learn something, you should start from delivery, because in sales you are just scratching the surface, you are just trying to get the deal, but this is where you go and you get your hands dirty. And sometimes that's why people working in delivery for 10-15 years, if they now want, they move to sales, because they have got the depth of knowledge while delivering the pieces of solution under delivery. So this is your backbone. This is where you do stuff. This is where you do things on the table. And this is where you portray as if whether you have the potential or not. Because if you have sold something and if you are not able to deliver it, it puts a bad mark on the reputation of the company. So delivery team is very important. So now let's understand another team which works very closely with delivery. So the third team is QA or quality assurance, and this team is the protector or the guardian of customer interest, because whenever we are delivering something, we are too focused on delivering what has been written in the contract. But is it up to the quality? Is it up to the standards of the company who's delivering it, or the company who has asked for it? All these things is ensured by your QA team. Your QA manager, your unit testers, your system testers, your performance or security testers would make sure that whatever you're delivering as a part of your delivery is intact, is in line with what is needed and what is as per the standards, the processes or the standard frameworks which have been deployed to deliver a particular solution. And that's why QA team, until unless they sign off what they have delivered, this can never become a reality. And that's why whatever you are doing, you have to onboard your QA team together. Sometimes QA team is responsible for creating dedicated QA environments, test environments, where the application which you are developing has to be tested. And that's and if that does not pass the criteria which they have set up, you might have to go back and do your homework. So it's very important as a project manager to get in line with your QA manager and make sure that you are delivering the right product, the right service with right quality. So if you are a tester, if you are someone who's obsessed with quality, who has already worked in a testing background, then this is the team, this is the vertical where you go up, you can go up the ladders. So yes, quality assurance is our third team. And now let's go to our fourth team. So the fourth team in our list is the support team. When you are ready with your solution, when the product is ready, when it is deployed in production, you need someone to support it. And that's where your support vertical comes in. They take that particular product, that particular service into the production environment and make sure that it is intact, it is working as per the SLAs defined, as per the contractual obligations to support it 24/7 across different geographies, making sure that it is up and running all the time. All those kind of things comes under support. But I want to add a caveat here. Now with Agile and DevSecOps frameworks, a lot of these teams are getting combined together to form a common unit. But that's for a different video. But overall, in any traditional IT setup, these would be the teams where you would be working. So coming back to this, change management, incident management, support engineers, for example, service delivery managers, your help desk support, all those kind of things comes under support. And whatever you deliver in whichever technology, you would need a respective technology in support. So delivery and support go hand in hand. Many a times you start from support, move towards delivery and sales. Sometimes you start with delivery, but then you like to go into support, you like to grow into a more senior role in the support vertical, so you move backwards as well. So as your company business model, your pre-sales team, your delivery team works on the top line of your business, while your support team works on the bottom line of your business. Now these are some business jargons, but just to explain you, this would help you get the business. This would help you to maintain the business. So whatever you have got, you have to maintain. Some of the companies actually earn 60 to 70% of their revenue through maintenance and support contracts, because this has a definite shelf life. Your sales, your delivery has a shelf life. There's a start date and there's an end date. But if you get into a support contract and if you do well, you are there for the long term game. You could be the vendor of choice for 10, 15, 20 years, and you could just keep on getting penetrating into that particular company or the customer, and then venture into different areas within that company. So many companies enter into a company through their support contracts, but then they venture into other verticals as well. So very important vertical. I myself have started my career through support. After that, I have moved on to different verticals. I've worked into different teams, but I've started my career primarily into a support team, and that's why I know that although there is some assumption or some image of support not being that great, trust me, if you have the skills and if you have the right attitude, even here you could excel a lot. So don't take as if the support would just ruin your career. I've made a dedicated video on development versus support, what's good and bad in development versus support. Okay, so you can check that out as well. So now the final team, let's understand what this team does. So the last team, but definitely not the least, is the PMO team, which is project management office team. And this team does not have technical people involved, but if you are someone who comes from a finance background, who comes from someone who has a lot of knowledge in management, resourcing, or you have done auditing, all those kind of things, then you could join a PMO office even with zero technical knowledge. Okay, because PMO is all about scrutiny, all about change control, process control, delivery control. This PMO office has a dotted line to many teams. Okay, for example, sometimes your quality assurance team falls under the PMO team. The role of the PMO team is to make sure that the delivery is on track, whatever we have committed, are we on track of delivering it. They ask for regular status reports. They also look into the resourcing part of it, whether you have the enough team allocated to your project or not. They also make sure the billing is intact, the billing is on time, customer is paying for what he's getting. So PMO team is a mixed bag of multiple skill set which are non-technical, but then they have a lot of knowledge in program management, process management, governance, resourcing, finance, all those kind of different verticals. They also make sure that there is a project structure, project team structure in place to deliver what we have asked for. Sometimes the PMO team is also the point of escalation if something is going bad in the delivery team. So it's more about checks and balances when it comes to PMO. So if you are someone who likes that kind of a challenge or that kind of a role, then you could join the PMO team. I have seen myself that a lot of people who have not come from a technical background or who were not interested into doing the technical stuff have moved into PMO roles, and they are doing pretty well. And the best thing which happens in the PMO team is you get a lot of visibility, because generally, even if you are at a junior level, you're talking to your finance heads, your delivery heads, your senior management. So you get a lot of exposure from from that standpoint. Now we have come to the end of this video. I want to highlight this, please. All these 5 teams which I have highlighted is based on my understanding and my experience. I am not quoting that this should be the structure. The structures could vary based on the company, based on the geography, region. There are multiple factors. But as a technologist, as a person who wants to get into IT, as a person who wants to pursue his aspirations into IT, if you know that these are some broader pillars under which you could work, it would give you an edge. And that was the objective of this video, to bring this insight to you. So if you like this video, guys, if you got anything out of it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment what you learned, which kind of team you like, where you would want to excel. There are other teams as well. Please understand that we have only talked about a traditional IT and service based or consulting based company. But what about companies like Google, Amazon? There are different team structures there. You have a product team, you have an engineering team there. So it varies, right? It is based on my understanding. There are other teams as well where you could join in different kind of setup. So with that said, keep learning, guys. Keep sharing all your knowledge, and yes, keep hustling. Bye for now.